Hello everyone, this is Lakeitha from Lakeitha's Perspective, and I'm coming to you today with another video. I would like to talk to you about vision for your life with purpose and relevancy. I'm so excited about sharing this information, and I hope you will stay and listen. What is vision? Step 1. Step 2, write the vision and make it plain. Step 3, identifying your gifts. And step 4, what happens between vision and fulfillment. So the first step, what is vision? Or how do you identify your vision? Vision, according to the dictionary, is the faculty or state of being able to see. So when we talk about vision for our lives, we're talking about how do we see past what we see? How do we see the end result? What do we want to accomplish in life? Where are we trying to go? And so you can take that same thing as it relates to vision and think about it physically as it relates to our own eyes. In our eyes, we have a pupil and we have a lens. But the pupil and the lens are not as effective as they can be if they don't have what we call the ciliary muscle, which holds the pupil and the lens in place. This is a muscle that contracts for you to see far away and contracts for you to see things close up. And so as it contracts, it pulls on the lens for you to see further away. That's the same way with vision. Vision pulls on our heart. It tugs on our heart for us to pursue and run after the vision. I can give you another scenario. Some of us are nearsighted. Some of us are farsighted. Me personally, I'm nearsighted. So I can see whatever I want to see close up. But when it comes to seeing things far away, sometimes I have difficulty. Well, when it comes to being nearsighted as it relates to your vision, you may not clearly have identified exactly what the end result will be. You have an ideal of it, but you're not exactly sure what is going to be, concrete. But those of us who are nearsighted, we can see everything close up, right? So you can see your gifts, you can see your resources, you have all those right there in front of you because you can see things that are up close. But what we have to understand is the closer we get to an object, the clearer it becomes. Well, that's the same way with nearsighted vision. So as you use those gifts, as you use those resources, you can utilize those as tools to pursue the vision. And the closer you get, the closer the vision becomes. Let's do it on the flip side. All right, so now let's talk about the farsighted individuals. The farsighted individuals, they have the ability to see far away, but things that are close up may be a little blurry. But as they adjust the items or the object that's, pretty close up to them, and they get some space between them and the object, they can see a little bit clearer. Well, it's the same way with our vision. Even though you have a great picture of what you're trying to accomplish, you're a big pictures person, you know exactly where you're trying to go, but you may not know exactly what resources or tools you have right around you to get to that end result. That's how a farsighted individual may be, or they may struggle in that area. So what you have to do is you have to take time to identify your gifts. You got to take time to know what you're gifted at, all right, and understand what your resources are that's right there in front of you, and you use those as tools to pursue that end result that you already clearly see. So the second step is write the vision. Write the vision, make it plain. Yeah, we have all of these desires and we have all of these goals that we have in mind of what we want to accomplish in this life, and we have it all bottled up in here. If you don't write it down and keep it before you, you just may forget, because it's the enemy's job to steal, right? To kill, to destroy, to take whatever that is that has been deposited in you. So in order for you to keep it before you, you have to write it down. Write it down. Keep it before you. And be specific. Don't just write down a general vision for your life. Oh, I just want to have a big fancy house and a car and take care of my family. Be specific. Oh, I just want a husband. Be specific. What kind of husband do you want? Because you can mess around and get a husband that you don't need. So be specific. Write down what you're trying to do. what you want to accomplish, what your vision is. Write it down and make it plain. So the third step is identifying your gift. Identify your gift. When I say identify your gift, I mean identify the thing that you have a natural ability to do, the thing that you're naturally good at, the thing that you just do without even thinking about. You love it. Those are your gifts. And often you can trace those gifts all the way back to your childhood. You know, some gifts we are born with, some gifts we develop along the way as you experience life. And so I can think all the way back to my childhood, and I've always been what I call a visionary. I've always had a great imagination about the things that I wanted to accomplish in life, the things that I wanted to do. I always knew that. Even though I get really nervous, and I'm just being transparent, when I have to speak in front of people, I've always known as a young girl that was one of the things that I would have to do in life, is get up and speak in front of people, because I had a natural ability to do it. And so when you identify your gift, you think about those things that you're good at, those things that you do it sometimes without thinking. But it's not enough just to have the gift. You have to cultivate the gift. You have to build upon it. You have to sharpen your skills as it relates to any area that you're gifted in. Because I just like I tell my sons, hard work beats talent when talent refuses to do hard work. So you have to continue to cultivate the gift. I was thinking about when I was a child. I had a relative who was afraid to babysit me. And he said he was afraid to babysit me because I had an imaginary friend. And the name of this imaginary friend, her name was Tomorrow. Now, why did I name this imaginary friend Tomorrow? I have no clue, because I don't even remember this particular time of my life. But I hear my relatives talk about how I always had this imaginary friend named Tomorrow. So I took that as me speaking to my tomorrow, talking to my tomorrow about what my destiny was going to be. And so that was my way of kind of gaining an understanding of what I was doing even as a child. So another thing that I was really good at is just being pretty analytical. You know, growing up, you know, I would just really want to analyze things and break it apart and figure it out. And not just do it to be doing it, but I love doing it. I'm passionate about it, and I'm pretty good at it. And so think about those things that you're naturally good at, those things that you have a natural knack for. Those are your gifts. And then as you grow, as you grow in life, as you experience life, you begin to identify additional gifts. Now, I can't tell you what your gift is. Now, some people that are in my life, I've observed them long enough where I can look at them and see what they have a natural ability to do. But if I don't know you, I won't know that unless I've observed you. So the only person who can identify your gift is you. So step 4 is knowing what happens between vision and fulfillment, or having a full understanding of what happens after you've established what your vision is and when it's actually manifested. And so you have to work your gifts. You have to use your resources. You have to keep the vision before you. You got to keep speaking it. You got to affirm it. You can't forget about it. And one thing you have to do is you have to work toward that particular thing that you're passionate about. Just because you're working a 9 to 5 every single day doesn't necessarily mean that you're working toward your vision. If there are some things that you're gifted at, some things that you're passionate about, take some time to work in those particular areas, because those areas could eventually get you to your vision. So what I would do is I established in my mind that one of the things on my vision board was that I wanted to write a book. But I was working a 9 to 5, very busy every single day. And so what I said, well, what I would do is I would take 15 minutes a day to work toward my passion, to work in a capacity that I feel I'm gifted in. 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day in turn turns into 1.75 hours a week. That's an hour and 45 minutes a week. And I continue to do that every single week. Well, 15 minutes doesn't seem like a lot of time, but over time, it adds up. So don't forget about your vision. Don't forget about your passions. Keep it before you, and don't get discouraged along the way. Continue to connect with like-minded individuals. You have to make sure that you have people who are going to speak life, that's going to empower you and encourage you as it relates to you trying to get to your end result. You don't want, and then one thing you have to be careful of is you can't tell everybody your vision, because everybody is not your cheerleader. So some things you got to hold close to the vest. But just remember, you have to utilize those resources. You have to utilize your gifts that are on the inside of you. You have to consistently work toward the things that you're gifted at and you're passionate about. You have to keep the vision before you. You can add on to the vision and continue to make it plain. You have to affirm it on a daily basis. Those are some things that you have to do in the in-between time. Additionally, during the in-between time, you have to be driven. You have to be driven. You got to have that drive. You got to keep pushing. You can't worry about what people have to say. You can't worry about who's with you, who's not with you. You have to validate yourself. Those are things, but you got to have that drive. And I think about this. I rise up very, very early in the morning. But once you get closer to nightfall, I'm potentially really, really, really tired. And I have a hard time functioning. And so recently, someone needed a ride to work. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give you a ride to work. But please let me know, what time I need to get there. And they kept procrastinating, giving me the time. Well, finally, they gave me the time after a time that I'm not used to getting up and moving around without preparing myself in advance. And so I was exhausted. So I got in the car and I began to drive, and I could feel myself falling asleep, but I still had that drive. I was still driving to the halfway point because my end result was to get back home so I can get into bed, right? And so I'm driving. And as I drive the person to work and I drop them off, before I pull off, I close my eyes for a quick second, just kind of close my eyes to rejuvenate, to just take a quick rest, to get myself together before I had to take the drive home. And so eventually I pulled out, drove home to my destination, and I made it there. It's the same way with the in-between time and trying to reach the vision, all right? You may have that drive. You may be pursuing hard, but you gotta make sure that you take time to rest, to get rejuvenated, all right, to get re-energized, to do whatever you need to do to sit there and analyze the process to make sure that you're going in the right direction. All those things you need to take time to do and gain perspective during a period of rest. So you can't just be driven without taking any time to take care of yourself. Because once you do that, then you can go right back into drive mode to get to the end result the same way I did when I had to drop the person off and I had to get home. Another way you can think of it is, back in the day when I was a kid, we would drive south, and that could be a 16 to 18 hour drive sometimes. Well, if you find and utilize those trusted resources, you have a passenger with you, they can help you during the process of driving. And so I'm tired, I need to rejuvenate, I need to be revived, I need to take some rest. And so you can get out of the driver's seat, you can get over on the passenger side and take rest because you have a trusted resource that can continue to drive toward the vision while you're resting on the passenger side. The key word is a trusted resource. So that trusted resource, they're driving, you have full trust in that person that they will drive to the best of their ability to get you to the destination while you're resting. And so they're driving during the in-between time. And then once you get rested and rejuvenated, then you pull over on the side of the road and you get back in the driver's seat. That's the same way with vision. So you have to be extremely cognizant of the fact that it's too much on any individual to continue to stay in drive mode, but you must take a break. You must get some rest so that you can stay rejuvenated and keep the vision in mind. So there you have it. Those are 4 steps that you can take, especially in the beginning of the new year. If you want a fresh start, or you want to do some more intentional things as it relates to establishing your vision for your life. I really appreciate you all watching on today. Feel free to contact me anytime. I do consult and help people jumpstart their organizations. I help people identify their gifts after having some conversation with them. I can be reached at lakeithasperspective@gmail.com. That'll be written below, lakeithasperspective@gmail.com. Please feel free to contact me. And additionally, if you're looking for an opportunity to do a vision board, that is something that is so needed. There's an upcoming event by Ebony Gibson. She's doing a vision board focus party for 2018. It's going to be on January 13th, 2018 from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. At 1114 North 6th Street in Saginaw, Michigan. That's 48601. You guys hit Ebony Gibson up. She's doing I'm Building Something. She is an awesome, awesome, awesome young lady. The general tickets are $20. You can get VIP tickets for $30. She has all kind of motivational speakers coming. She has vision board supplies, t-shirts, gift bags, special gift and snacks. This is going to be an awesome, awesome event. Guys, please, please go and support and check Ebony Gibson out for her I'm not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party, her focus for 2018. Again, it's going to be on January 13th, 2018. Again, thank you for checking us out here at Lakeith's Perspective. Please feel free to contact me at any time. I would like for you to like, share, comment, please, and subscribe to my channel. I really, really appreciate your support, and I appreciate all the ones who gave me their support in my most recent video. I could not believe the outpour of support that I received. Thank you so much for watching Lakeith's Perspective again, and you have a wonderful day.